You have the Holy Ghost. You have the Holy Ghost. You have the Holy Ghost. Now the question is, how do you know you have the Holy Ghost? I speak in tongue wrong. That is still a babe speaking. And you know it's because I do miracles. Wrong. How do you know you are in touch with a spirit? Something that is not a part of your realm. It is this knowledge that will make your spiritual walk with God meaningful. So those on ground online, pay attention. Alamosiata, verse 8. He said what? The wind what? Bloweth where it listeth. And thou what? Hearest the sound thereof. But what? Cannot tell. Where's what? It goes. So what do you see here? He shows you here how the spiritual world acts on the physical world. From this little illustration here. Now, the true answer to how the spiritual interacts with the physical is tied to one simple word. And that word is influence. Someone say influence. If you are connected to a spirit, you will know by the influence of the spirit on you. That's all. You are not connected to a spirit that cannot influence you. Because the first way they interact with us is influence. The spirit came on Jesus and began to move him. That's influence. If a demon is attacking you, sir, you will begin to first observe it by influence. What happens to you anytime you get money? You think you are making your decision. You are being influenced. Manipulation is a product of influence. They will not come and say, okay, I'm a spirit now. No, you will begin to know something new is influencing me now. Lust is an influence. If you can read influence, you can detect when something has changed. Yes, when something is now wrong. This your friend used to know is intelligent. There's a story I heard of a brother. He plays football excellently. Excellently. And then the scout came from Manchester. And then he said, this guy, I like this guy. Came to his town, signed him, brought him to Abuja. Let's play some matches that will prepare you, and then we'll pick some of you finally, and then fly you. He was guaranteed already. But he just had to be available to play all those matches and pass on. I don't know how they do it. On the day of the final match, sir, I said, okay, we finish today, and maybe in the next 2 days, we're out of this country. He got a call that his father is not feeling fine. On the day of his final match. And guess what? Instead of him to say, okay, let them take care of that, since it's not something severe, he told them that he must go and see his father. The brother that helped him get this particular scout that connected them together literally knelt down, was begging him, your father will be okay. Play this final match. At least just play this match first. Let everything be guaranteed. Your father, he said no, he must go and see his father. Influence. Someone say influence. If an influence come upon you, you will think according to that influence. You cannot advise a man who is under an influence. As you are speaking wisdom, everything will be foolish in his ears. He said, turn the counsel of Ahithophel to naught. Influence the counsel. The counsel of Ahithophel was wise, but the influence on the king was foolishness. You are seeing a dangerous road your friend is going. You don't know what is happening. I cannot hear you. He's under an influence. If you are spiritual, there and then, you will look at him. You Satan, get out of him. He will be shocked. But you just saved his life. Because you can see the influence he cannot see. The first way to notice a spirit is by influence. Influence exerted on people or objects. That's all. How do you know you have the Spirit of God? You are being influenced by the Spirit of God. You are being moved according to the Bible, or carried according to the Bible. is telling you about the influence that came upon these men. They were ordinary men until something began to influence them. All Elijah had to do to yoke Elisha to the influence of the spirit he was representing was to touch him with his mantle. And that was all. The young man started saying, "Oh, master, let me go and kill everything." He said, "What business do I have to do with you?" And he left smiling because he knew the young man was under an influence already. I want to see my father. He didn't listen to anybody. He traveled until today. He's still there. Guess what? They said as soon as he arrived and they played that match, the next day the father recovered. Opportunity lost forever. What makes Prophet Joel a prophet is the influence of the Spirit of God upon him. What makes Samson a mighty man is the manifestation of the Spirit influence upon him. What makes you an evangelist is the way the Spirit of God chooses to influence you. What makes you an apostle is the way the Holy Ghost chooses to influence you. We have diverse manifestation higher of the Holy Ghost crystallized upon us. When that influence come upon a man, a weak man can be made strong. When that influence come upon a man, a coward will become a warrior. Samson said, "Would you allow your servant to die after you've used him?" He was a man influenced. The Bible says when the Philistines will come upon him, he will shake himself. That's influence. Sit down, we'll soon begin to fly. You will now know that you've been under using the Holy Ghost. When your strength fails you, that's the moment to recline to a corner and begin to say, "Spirit of the Lord is over my life. I was chosen from my mother's womb. Hey. And no matter what comes my way in life." Only one. Sit down, sit down. A man can pray because of influence. I said a man to Elijah is over my life. I was chosen from my Sit down, let's fly.